was a very colorful event highlighted by orange and black, which is 6 rent-a-car colors. Several dignitaries of Koshari's Mobility Limited and 6 Rent-A-Car were present to grace the celebration of 2 years innovation of 60 Nigeria, a franchise of Koshari's Group, including the chairman and CEO of Koshari's Group of Companies, Dr. Cosmos Maduka.
It's my single honor and a great privilege to be here with you, our partners from Germany, and our partners locally here who has kept us in business. And more importantly, our executive shoppers who we have given some honor today. In the service industry, a lot of people neglect it, but it runs also like a factory. It's about the quality of the product you put out there, how all of them comes out will show what the end result in terms of the product that will be delivered. So, starting from the executive shoppers, the drivers who have distinguished themselves in the way they perform their duty, and from at the top, our principals, 6 Germany, who taught us what to do. Their standards are very high. You can't be a 6 franchise holder, a BMW franchise holder, or Rolls-Royce franchise holder if you don't know what you are doing, because their requirements and standards are very high.
Sylvester Sapnan, the manager responsible for the Middle East and the African region for 6 Rent-A-Car.
Basically, we are a premium mobility provider in different market segments like rent-a-car, lease-a-car, or even innovative products like car sharing. And our target is basically to become the biggest car rental or mobility provider worldwide. So if you want to expand worldwide, of course you always have to go into new markets. And we definitely believe in Africa and in the potential of Africa, and it's developing. Like, there's a lot of happening in a lot of countries in Africa, and yeah, we want to be part of this.
Head of International Training at 60 Munich, Carlson Yach, among others at the high table.
It's basically you do everything that the customer needs, and car rental is like, it used to be very big in the past, it was growing, but we see, especially in the last 5 years, more and more other mobility solutions approaching the market, like car sharing, My Driver, that's a German product where 6 also, where you can book like a taxi, but it's real 6 chauffeurs, so we have different business models. Also Uber is growing, so we have competition from many sides, and that's why we try to keep it up and being inspired by the customers.
And the GM and CEO of Koshari's Mobility Limited, 6 Rent-A-Car, Christian Chimbundu, was also present as a delegated master of ceremonies.
We have in our midst the fleet manager of Huawei Technologies, Mr. Omar Kabuso, please. He just also received an award today. Huawei today has more than 1,000 fleet. They are the highest buyer of cars in Nigeria today. And they are our clients. And I'll tell you what happened. For the past 3 years, they have been discussing with 3 months, discussing with me. Christian, give us cars. I said, look, my cars are good, they are expensive. If you want a good car, I will give you better service. They said, no, Ford Ranger, this. I stand to tell you today that 3 days ago, we signed a contract for 200 vehicles to Huawei. How much can you confident?
On behalf of my company, Huawei, of course, Ford product has been tested and trusted. It's rugged, it's durable. Of course, it's cost effective in the long run with durability. Secondly, 6 as a company, since we started doing business with them, I'm not saying this to actually paint a picture, because whatever I say here, I will still experience it as we go further. As part for us, the added value, and that's the key for us. Beyond the vehicular service that they give to us, their service to us is impeccable. I can tell you we have a proven performance metric that we use in-house, and consistently they have come tops amongst all our suppliers.
Awards represented to the 5 executive chauffeurs, that is Onogu Godwin Arome, Michael Samuel, Abdul Ismail, Kazim Sadiko, and Olaiwola Gafar.
I feel too good and I feel too happy, and I believe since he has put in a smile to my face ever since I spent the rest of my day in driving sectors.
Several clients spoke on the successful trend that 6 rent-a-car has set in the last 2 years and commended them in this regard. Among them, Mr. Amefolo Onyebuchi, Program Manager of Carlson Wagon Lead Travel, congratulated 6 for being successful and outstanding for the past 2 years.
6 happened to be exceptional in the fact that it came into the market with something much more new. They came in with newer vehicles. They came with a very huge standard. The parent company in Germany have presence all over the world, and with Carlson, we kind of share something in similarity because Carlson have presence in well over 150 countries. Same goes to 6th. So that alone, it's more or less the relationship that we have. And going by that, being a company that is into corporate travel management services, our clients equally want that same standard of service that they could receive in Germany, America, or wherever. So they expect same in Nigeria.
And applauded them for their impeccable service and delivery ever since their emergence in the Nigerian market, despite the rise in foreign exchange and the value of dollars. Mr. Christian Chibundu, Master of Ceremonies, announced that although 6th Germany does not allow local websites, but because of the high performance of 6th Rent-A-Car in Nigeria, a local website has been launched which would enable local customers to book cars and pay online and also get their vehicles delivered anywhere, anytime, so saving clients time and improving delivery efficiency.
From tomorrow, you can log into www.6nigeria.com. You can rent your car online and make your payment online.
Dr. Cosmos Madiko, chairman of Koschari's group, talked about the quality of the products this delivers and how all the members of the team, including the executive chauffeurs, have been groomed in order to meet the high standards of the service industry.
Our mission statement is that we will provide our customer with excellent services and products, giving them the highest value of their money, and will plow back resources to the immediate society and create a sense of pride in our employees. So we've just refurnished some orphanage home today that was given back to them, and we are coinciding it with celebrating our 2 years of existence. We've distinguished ourselves by the quality of services we offer to our clients.
The chairman of Law Union and Rock Insurance PLC gave a short speech. He mentioned how 6th has remained top among auto car rental organizations in Nigeria, how their reputation for superb and flawless service and delivery precedes them, and he congratulated 6th in this regard. He also offered benefits to the 5 awardees from the insurance company. The MC gave a brief review of the companies that supported them and appreciated them for their unfailing support. Mr. George Anyanwu, Director of Marketing Passage Group Travels, presented the cutting of the 2-year anniversary cake after its 6th countdown.
The 3rd letter and the 4th letter.
And the program ended on a high note, with everyone bustling with excitement.
I've seen a whole lot of growth. I've seen a whole lot of deepening in the market. New customers being signed on, strong corporates. Most multinationals, when they come into Nigeria, they call 6th. You know, it's easy because it's a properly run company, it's a properly run, the standards are strong, in line with international standards. So a lot of international businesses find it very easy to align and do business with 6th.
Yeah, the car rental came up because of the need for people that cannot buy a car to drive with the same car. If you cannot buy a BMW, you can as well drive or rent a BMW. Car rental company also came into existence also to make mobility very easy for people. You don't need to use millions of naira to own a car to drive a car. That's the concept of car rental business.
Hello viewers, I am Engineer Chijeko Juku, and you're welcome to Auto Guide on AutoXPAT. Topic for today will be on wheel alignment. Its importance to everyday motoring and everyday, safe use of your tires. As you can see, we are here in our workshop at Blaze Auto Care, operated by Quick Enterprises. We're about setting up, a practical aid or guide to help us in understanding more on wheel alignment and wheel balancing. First of all, I would like to take us a little brief on what wheel alignment is. To the layman on the streets, they say you have an alignment issue when you notice your tires are actually wearing out in an irregular form. It doesn't just start or stop at that point. Wheel alignment goes beyond that. Wheel alignment goes even to the point of ride comfort. The basic is when you are driving, you expect to be able to leave your steerings on a smooth surface. When you're driving on a smooth road, one would normally expect that on handing off your steering wheels, your car should be able to move straight in one direction, in a straight direction, at least for a few meters, without vying to the right or vying to the left. That is a sign of a good wheel alignment if your car drives straight, at least for a few meters on a smooth road. The second one being also when you notice that you have irregular wear on the shoulders, on the sides of your tires, be it in, be it on the outward end. I'll show you an example of a one tire. This is one, which is occasioned from, you have an irregular wear here. This is what I call an irregular wear because you have your tread level at one side a lot more okay, and on this side smoothened out and worn out. This is due to the effect of wheel alignment. Now, when it comes to wheel alignment, you have three different things that comprise of your wheel alignment. You have your toe in and toe out, which is your toe setting. That's one. You have your camber adjustment, which is two. And you have your caster adjustment. And for the purpose of this discussion, let me first of all start with using my hands. Assume this is your tire. You're looking at it in a linear, straight form. Assume this is the two front tires of your car. Now, when we talk about toe in, it means that the two tires are bent a little bit inward, tilted a bit inward. That's when you have toe in. And what this would mean is that you have wear on the outermost part of your tire in such a case. And then you have, when it's tilted outward, then you are having what you call a toe out. And it's likely going to affect the inner part of your tires. Now, also, when we go to the cambers, in the camber setting, we also look at tires. Assume these are the front wheel tires of our car. The camber setting, you have an inward camber, which will be tilting your tires as though, permit me to use the word, you have key legs. And so it's tilting inwards. And then you have an outward toe when your tires are tilting outwards. Okay? That's that. These two also have great effects on your tire wear and on your drive comfort, because in most cases you may not be able to wheel. You may not be able to steer your car in a safe manner. You always feel it when you drive, as though you are battling with your steerings. The third one, which in most cases, in 99% of the cases in Nigeria, we don't consider as very important, is the caster. Now, what the caster simply means is the distance. How tilted. The caster basically deals with the front wheel system, not the back wheel, but with the front wheel. The angle to which your tires are inclined to your steering itself. So you have a caster which could be outward, or you have a caster which could be inward. The effect mostly of the caster is you notice that when when you say your steering is a little bit is softer or is stronger. That's the effect, most of the effect of the caster. Also, the caster affects your alignment in such a way, because if you've had an accidented vehicle, you probably have one of the casters out of position, which means that you will most likely never have a good alignment system. And so these three components ought to be in order for you to have a perfect alignment system. Now, let's go to what could be the causes of alignment issues. Also, how often do we, or when do we check for our alignment issues, and how often we should come in for alignment checks. As you know, we are in a part of the country where our roads are really, really bad. You meet a lot of ditches, potholes, and all whatnot on the road. Your car is assembled with bolts and nuts, and you don't expect them to remain in their permanent position or in absolute permanent position. Now, when you have series and series of impacts, there is a great possibility that there will be a shift or a slack in one of those bolts or the position of your tires. Remember, you also have rubbers, which we call bushings. These rubbers also wear out, and once they wear out, they create clearance. You have a clearance, and once you have a clearance, it means ultimately you have a shift in position of your tires. As such, we expect that car owners come in for alignment checks at least at every service interval, which is approximately 4,000 to 5,000 kilometers. You don't have to wait till you have a one tire before you go in for your alignment. Comfort is also of importance. Safety is topmost. I would want to let our viewers know that you can a do-it-yourself approach to wheel alignment can be done with string of rope or with your regular building plumb. We are looking at this plumb, and when we look at the fluid in it, we expect it to be centered, and as such we expect that it is in straight form. Not all cases are you have it perfectly centered, because the manufacturers have their own specification, and that's what the equipment we have here is here to help us to do. But trying to work blindly or doing it yourself, you can actually use this. Once you have your tires, once you have the plumb giving you a center, what this means is for these liquid glasses, once it's centered, it means that you have a straight and zero leveled camber. Now we said cambers can, if your tire is tilting out this way, that's the position for the camber, or it's tilting in this form. So you have, like I said, you have cars with key legs, and your key legs, whether in and out, I don't know how many, or bow legs. Let's use that other word. Depending on the suspension type, your cambers are greatly affected. Either you have your shock absorbers bent, for those that have the adjustments on the shock absorbers, or you have your lower arms deformed or bent also, either as a result of an impact or something of that nature. These are basic things. Or you simply just have an alignment system that has left its normal position due to loosened bushings and bolts, and that's basically all. And we also talked about the toe in and toe out. This is also a simple example looking at what your toe in. Toe in, your tires could be tilting as though it were to be wheeled, or it could be tilting inward as it were.
The Bullos Enterprises Limited Motorcycles Dealers Conference kicked off as dealers and guests were signed in, given tags, and familiarized themselves with each other and with the motorcycles on display, such as Aprilia, the Intruder, Ajue, Moto Guzzi, Suzuki, among others. They were all ushered into the event hall for the commencement of the program. The hall was brightly lit as flowers in pretty vases and the blue and white colors synonymous to Bullos brought the hall to life with a lively chatter of guests, which quieted as the opening prayers were said. The MC assumed this role and introduced members of the high table: the General Sales and Marketing Manager, Mr. Stanley Evans, the General Manager, Mr. Julian Addy, the Chairman, Mr. Robert Ugbaja, General After Sales Manager Charles, and Chinese representatives from Ajue, Mr. Mike and Mr. Paul, and some other members of staff from Bullos Enterprises Limited were acknowledged, like the National Sales and Marketing Manager, Christian Deeb, Lekon Olagunju, among others. The General Manager, Julian Addy, gave a short opening speech welcoming the guests and dealers to the program, after which the dealers introduced themselves.
This is the future. I think if you look everywhere, everything is becoming far more electronic, and the same synergy applies to the motorcycles. We know of another brand, obviously, who is in the market with a very ancient motorcycle that is like a dinosaur and will become extinct. We have new products. We have the new age product that will take us forwards. This other product will disappear, ours won't. We will keep on rejuvenating our products, we will keep on adding to our portfolio to support you and give you more product.
It was a very colorful event, highlighted by orange and black, which is 6 rent-a-car colors. Several dignitaries of Koschari's Mobility Limited and 6 Rent-A-Car were present to grace the celebration of 2 years innovation of 6 Nigeria, a franchise of Koschari's Group, including the chairman and CEO of Koschari's Group of Companies, Dr. Cosmos Maduka.
It's my single honor and a great privilege to be here with you, our partners from Germany, and our partners locally here who has kept us in business, and more importantly, our executive shoppers who we have given some honor today. In the service industry, a lot of people neglect it, but it runs also like a factory. It's about the quality of the product you put out there. How all of them comes out will show what the end result in terms of the product that will be delivered. So, starting from the executive shoppers, the drivers who have distinguished themselves in the way they perform their duty, and from at the top, our principals, 6th Germany, who taught us what to do. Their standards are very high. You can't be a 6th franchise holder, a BMW franchise holder, or Rolls-Royce franchise holder if you don't know what you are doing, because their requirements and standards are very high.
Sylvester Sapnan, the manager responsible for the Middle East and the African region for 6 Rent-A-Car,